And we're in the kitchen today with Chef Rob Gore from Farm Fresh, and I'm so excited because I could smell the things you were prepping this morning and just looking at everything. What are we making? What are you treating us to?
We are doing a Spanish theme today. So we have a chicken breast that's going to be wrapped in bacon, but it's going to be stuffed with chorizo, Spanish sausage, and smoked Gouda. As well as we're going to have a vegetable rice pilaf going as well, and we're also going to do some sauteed veggies. And of course, for you, got to have a tres leche cake.
Tres leche cake. Okay, so let me get this right. We got bacon wrapped chicken breast stuffed with chorizo and cheese.
Yes.
And then we're going to have veggie rice pilaf, Spanish
rice,
rice, and then the tres leches cake. Oh my goodness, so much to do. We're just going to get started on that in a moment. We're back now on the Hampton Road Show in the kitchen, and joining us today is Chef Rob Gore from Farm Fresh. I'm so excited what he's doing today. He's making bacon-wrapped chicken breast stuffed with chorizo and cheese for us this morning. And after dinner, we're going to have some dessert. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the chicken. And I learned something new, how to peel the breast, because we have to peel the chicken breast to get it stuffed, right?
That's correct. You fold it over, and you thinly slice it and press it out like this. We'll leave you a nice little pocket here. Earlier, I already cooked the chorizo, and you see down here in the bottom of the chorizo, if you want to get a shot of that nice juice down, you never want to lose that juice. That's all the flavor in there. Some people think it's oil. It's not oil. Well, it is oil, but it's all the flavor. This is a smoked Gouda cheese that we add in there.
You said this all has to be at room temperature, right?
Well, what you want to do is have the chorizo pre-cooked and ready to go at room temperature so it doesn't melt the cheese.
Okay.
So you see how the cheese kind of sticks, it kind of hangs out in there. Now, another thing we do is this right here is a panko breadcrumb. This will also help to bind everything together.
I love me some panko breadcrumbs.
Good. So once you get that going there, you get yourself a nice little, this is just your filler right here. So the chicken is raw, the filler is cooked, which is always nice in a stuffed chicken product, so you don't have to worry about it being undercooked inside.
True. So, and you know, something like this could be a little intimidating. You think there's so many ingredients and so many steps, but is it hard? I mean, you make it look so easy.
It's not easy.
It's a lot of prep.
Yes. And a lot of things is, I mean, you'll see the chicken breast falls apart. It's not going to be beautiful. And if you're trying to make it beautiful, that's your end product, what you're going to finish with. So as you see, as I roll it, it'll fall apart on me too. And this will happen at home. It's nothing you can do about it, really. This one is wrestling with me, by the way. Okay.
So use 2 strips of bacon?
Yeah, you could use 2, 3, 4. You use as much. If you love bacon, use the bacon.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Well.
And so the bacon obviously adds to the flavor.
Yes. This one is wrestling with me. So what we're going to do is...
It's all about what it tastes like. I know you want it to be pretty,
we're going to use the ones that are already prepped and ready to go. And then what you do when you pan sear these, obviously you want to make sure your oil's got a nice little heat to it. You'll see it rolls around.
Okay. And how much oil do you want to use? Not too much.
Just about maybe 3 tablespoons, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. And then you want to make sure you hear that sizzle. With these here, all you're doing is actually curing the bacon, searing the bacon, which will also help seal the bacon to the breast. And you're not going to flip them in the pan. You're just going to put them in a pan, finish them in the oven, kind of a set it.
So you want to make sure you do this before you put them in the oven.
Yeah, this definitely helps the whole process right here. As you can see, there's a lot of
popping.
Yes, a lot of stuff going on here. And then what we'll end up doing here, now the other thing we have going on also is we have a vegetable rice pilaf. Now the rice that I've already cooked, again, when you're cooking rice at home, you'll cook it in a pot and you got that nice steam going so it's nice and hot. If you want to make a vegetable rice pilaf, you can take your veggies and cut them in a small cut like this and then just add them in afterwards. And what will happen...
So that you're not going to overcook the veggies?
Not going to overcook the veggies, that's exactly right. And then you just incorporate it into the rice, which will also help cook it as well.
So would you continue to cook that at a low heat? Oh my gosh,
no.
Popped over here.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. But no, what I would do, personally what I do is I cook my rice till it's almost done and the liquid's almost gone, and then I let it set, because what rice ends up doing is to soak the rest of the fluid in. So once you put the veggies in, the veggies have natural juices as well. And those natural juices will excrete into the rice and create a flavor there as well. And then another thing you do once you get your vegetable rice pilaf going, be careful with your salt, because if you use a chicken stock, which is what I use, it always has salt in it. So what I'll do is
season it a little bit.
Just add herbs to it. And the herbs will definitely help out with the veg. Think of a sauteed veggie in any restaurant you go to as well.
All right.
So as we got that cooking right there, I set the oven at 400. You can do it at 375, 400. What you're going to do is really you're going to just get your chicken when it's cut and cleaned the way we cleaned it. It's a real thin outer layer, so it doesn't take as long to cook it.
So how long would you leave it in the oven?
15, 20 minutes, check it, make sure. And again, remember your internal temp is going to be 165 for the chicken, which is a safe cooking temp. So that's another thing we like to make sure, of course, in the restaurants. And you can see, I mean, this is still raw on top. Got a little sear on the bottom.
Just kind of keeps hold it together.
That's it.
Starts bringing out some of the flavors.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. So then I see you also have a bunch of cut veggies up here, and you were telling me that this is something you can do at Farm Fresh, is buy your veggies already cut.
That is right.
And sometimes cutting the veggies is half the battle.
That's it. And now what we're doing, you'll see with the veggie program that we have, it's a fresh to go veggie program. People come in and cut fresh veggies every morning off of our shelves.
Okay.
Package it up for you so that way you don't have to deal with cutting them. And then you can pick and match however you'd like to do your veggies, so you can have anything you want in there.
That would motivate me, you know, and you can get a bigger variety. All right, so we're going to stick the chicken breasts in the oven.
In the oven.
And then when we come back, we'll be working on some more veggies.
That's right.
All right, sounds good. So we'll see you a little later. All righty, everybody, we're back now on the Hampton Road Show in the kitchen, and we're with Chef Rob Gore from Farm Fresh. I'm standing a little bit back here because he's starting to saute some veggies, and they're starting to pop.
That is the hot oil.
Yeah, but we did get our bacon-wrapped chicken breast stuffed with chorizo and cheese. We did take that out of the oven. Those are ready to go, and so now we're doing a little side with some sauteed veggies. And you were telling me that, you know, if you're not a veggie cutter, one of the cool things that Farm Fresh is doing now is you can buy them all pre-cut.
That's right. And the other thing is that everybody has a preference on veggies, obviously, so you don't have to pick. They come in individual packages. You'll see we have squash and zucchini. This is actually some Brussels sprouts. And we got a pepper and onion mix, which is also good for fajitas if you're doing a fajita night.
And that's nice too, because sometimes you don't need a whole lot. Maybe you just need enough to cook that night, because you know veggies and stuff, they go bad if you don't cook right away. So that's cool. So you're just sprinkled in a little bit salt and pepper, a little
salt and pepper, light herbs. Now the other thing that we have at Farm Fresh, which is really nice, is we have fresh herbs over there as well. And this one is, a lot of us will call it a garni bouquet, which is a lot of different flavors that you put in the soups. This one here is specific to a poultry, which is also good with veggies as well.
Okay.
So what you can do with your fresh herbs, you don't have to be worried about the stems and all that stuff. You can put them in there, and what you're doing is getting the essence of herb. Yeah.
Essence of herb.
Essence of herb. And then, of course, there's also herbs that, you know, you don't have to put in there. There's a sage leaf in here. I don't think we need a sage leaf in there. A little rosemary always goes well, especially with a chicken dish.
And with the veggies, you know, one of the things I always worry about is, like, I want them cooked, but sometimes, like, how do you just know when you get your veggies just right? You want to cook it at a high heat and not so long? Is that what you do?
What we do, and in the restaurants it's kind of nice because we always have the access to the different pans. We also have people to help us. So, I mean, when you're at home and you get a pan of sauteed veggies going like this, you'll see at the bottom you get all this caramelization. And with that caramelization, what ends up happening is that's when you know you can actually deglaze your pan, because at this point your veggies are almost al dente, which is not cooked all the way, not soft.
Right.
So what you're doing there is all the flavors from those veggies are in the pan now. If you have gas at home, obviously do not do this over the flame because it is alcohol. So what I do,
so back it up.
Yeah. And everybody always asks which wine is best to use. Personally, my
when you see recipes that says white wine, you're like, okay, well.
If you have wine in the cabinet and you drink it, that means you like it. So use it on your veggies because it will transfer some flavor, but most of that flavor is going to get burned off.
Oh, okay. So you just want to pour a little bit in there.
Just
Remember, keep it away from the flame if you have gas.
And definitely keep it away from the flame. You see all that brown is gone now, and then you can see all that flavor comes right down in there. So that's where all your flavor goes to.
Okay.
So then at this point, what we've done is we've created everything. We have our chicken that came out of the oven. We have our starch, which is our rice pilaf, and then we also have
veggies to that as well.
Right, so it's time to compose. And then when you compose, obviously you do it however you want, but in the restaurants, we're going to do something where we just kind of like a presentation out of it. And what we try to do is make it eye-appealing. In the restaurants, we always know that people always eat first with their eyes.
Yes.
So if it looks good, half the time it's going to be good, and then most of the time it's going to be fantastic.
So you're going to make it look even better.
Yeah, that's right. So what we do here with this, after you cook these, you see how they came out. And obviously these came out a little better than the one that I wrapped.
Yeah, well put together.
So what you can do is take these, and if you cut them on a bias like that, you'll see a lot of that stuff will come out. See how the chicken breast comes out real nice right there.
Yeah.
You see how it gets wide. There it is.
So that's how you do that.
That's pretty right there, isn't it? So then what you can do is take this and kind of spread it out. If you're having a nice date night at home and you want to impress,
make it a little fancy there. Something you can do at home.
There you go.
You know, I guess anytime you're cooking at home, you want to get a little quote unquote fancy. You just need a lot of prep.
That's it.
And think about it.
That's right. Preparation is.
And you too can do this.
That's it. And you see how everything comes together right here.
The sauteed veggies. Okay, so after we have this great meal, look how beautiful that looks. I have to talk about this cake. So tres leches. I didn't even know you carried that in the bakery there. And so that's something I can just walk in and pick up, or is that a special order item?
Actually, in our bakery, you'll see we have a display case, and it has a whole bunch of cakes. This is one that we are actually displaying now, and they do it based on how the seasons go, and also on your different holidays.
Okay.
So tres leche, it literally means 3 milks, and what it is, it's a saturated pound cake, basically, with different milks in it. And then you see they garnished it up with a bunch of fruits, and plenty of the icing on top.
I know, and that cake is perfect for one. Just kidding. It's a huge cake. But all right, so that's just one of the Mannery offerings in the bakery. But again, you can get the whole meal at Farm Fresh locations across Hampton Roads. He's at the one in Ghent. I just found that out too. Find the one closest to you at farmfreshsupermarkets.com. Thanks, Rob. Everything looks great. I can't wait to dig in.